Man, look at the absolute state of video game journalism. I mean, you got this guy from IGN. Look at him. What is he making? He seems to be making this expression of pain. Like, no, seriously, if you cover up his mouth. All right, let me see if I can actually cover up his mouth. Hold on. Let me just cover up his mouth like this. All right, and if you look at this, you know, it looks like a person in pain. It looks like a person crying out for help. But anyway, right, so he is excited that he bought one of the most uninteresting games of the decade, Marvel Avengers. Apparently, like, it wasn't even functioning on release, but, you know, he is happy about it. Oh my god, Marvel Avengers. Except he did a little bit of an oopsie. A little bit of a mistake. You know, he's showing the serial number for this, and look at this. Alright, who claimed my digital code? I don't know, man. I don't fucking know who claimed my digital code. I mean, you know, if you're an actual gamer that actually works for a living and you finally manage to put aside $60 in order to purchase a game, I don't think you would treat it like that. I think you would treat it with a little bit more respect. I think it's like a credit card. You wouldn't show your credit card number on a camera now, would you? But, you know, you have people at IGN who done goofed. Unboxing. My god, like, this is such a cancerous thing, unboxing videos. Who watches them? I mean, I'm not going to blame the person making them, you know, but like, who watches an unboxing? Why would you watch something like someone else unboxing something? It's weird. It's bizarre. I don't get it. But anyway, in other news, Kotaku UK is going to close this week. And literally not a single person on the internet is sad to see them go. Like, if it was a different website, I mean, heck, back in the day, I think, you know, maybe 10 years ago, people actually cared about gaming websites. Like, you might have a couple of people, like, wanting to keep the website afloat, you know, talking about finding solutions or options. Now no one cares. Literally no one cares. They don't have a fan base. I'm thinking, like, their fan base is all about destroying and ruining things. Like, they can't build up. They can't, you know, sustain themselves. So yeah, bit by bit, Kotaku is being chipped away. Like, if you're not following the news, there was a massive exodus of people running away from it. In a way, like, I'm a little bit sad. I don't think Kotaku is that cancerous. It is cancerous, but not that cancerous. I think Polygon is the worst cancer. Kotaku, believe it or not, actually had a couple of good articles. It had Jason Schreier write a little bit of expose on what's going on at BioWare and how that company is oppressing its workers. Like, that was a good article. You know, some investigative journalism, like, heaven forbid. Every now and then the stars align and a video gaming outlet actually makes a little bit of an investigative journalism. But no, like, all these video game outlets that are situated in California now are the cancer of the cancer. They're just the worst. They ruin the gaming industry. Unironically, they ruin the gaming industry with their politics, with their Californian politics. And the way they did it is that company listened to them rather than listening to the consumer. Like, what it ended up happening is that if you are a game developer, a lot of the times you would have to make a deal with a publisher, and the publisher would have in the contract, it's like, look, we're going to watch Metacritic, and if your video game gets a 7.5, then you get a sequel. If your video game gets a 8.2, then you get a bonus. You know, like that was. That happened with Fallout New Vegas. Like, video game journalists gave it low scores, and because of that, the developers didn't get their bonus. Which means that if you're a game developer, you have to care more about what the game journalists want and think than the consumer. Because you get paid by the publisher. You don't get paid by the consumer or by how many numbers you sell, right? So because of that, video game developers cared a lot about what journalists think. And most games that came out, they tried to please the game journalist rather than the consumer. And the consumer was at odds with the game journalist. So look at this games media site. Kotaku UK will close this month. The news comes as a statement on the site which reveals that it will be the last day of the site's 6-year run. 6. Like the devil. Kotaku US is run by Geo Media with future licensing out of brand and content for the UK website. However, They decided to no longer continue this deal, bringing Kotaku UK to an end. Why is that, Kotaku US? Are you having financial problems? Are you having a little bit of financial problem? Oh, that's so sad. As of Wednesday, the rights will revert back to Geo Media, with the Kotaku US continuing to operate and run content. I've been Kotaku UK's editor for 3 years, before which I was a regular contributor, and the journey has been a privilege. Well, you know, people at Kotaku don't really like privilege, do they? You know what I noticed, by the way? Like, all these people from the video gaming press complaining about lack of diversity in video games, and when you actually look at who works at these companies, Polygon, Kotaku, Rock Paper Shotgun, a sea of whiteness. A sea of white. Why aren't there articles like asking for more diversity and representation in video game journalism, you have to wonder. Dave, Captain Bosch, Julian, Benson, Leon, and others, they get a salute. Finally, I'd like to thank and say farewell to our readers. My sense has always that you love games, have a sense of humor, and value good writing. Yeah, unfortunately, none of them can be found on Kotaku. You can find them on my channel. Good writing and sense of fucking humor. And that's what I'm going. Anyway, right. People were telling them to learn to code. No, don't learn to code. Learn Marxism. Start a blog where you lecture people about Marxism in video games, and in return they give you cash. Learning to code. Learning to code is like beneath them, you know? Seriously, that's why game journalists don't want to learn to code. Because they're above the code. The code is for the working class, is for the plebs. They're the intelligentsia. You know, they are the people that are above the working class. The working class is like, oh, man, learning to code. What, so you can compete with people coming from India on a low-paid tech job? Get the fuck out of here. You know, like open office. Oh, no. That's not for the game journalist. No. Now, I want to show you what the peasants, the people who don't matter, the actual gamers think, right? Farewell from Kotaku UK. Look at this. It was posted 5 hours ago and only 15 retweets. Man, if I fart and upload it on Twitter, it gets more than 15 retweets. Look at this. I also gave it a like to make it more pornographic. Good riddance. Good riddance. Holy shit, I am going to do something interesting. This is sad. Loved writing for you guys. So much fun to work with. You could try writing for one angry gamer HD. He pays well too, and has a site with far more traffic than Kotaku UK. Looking forward to reading more from you there. See ya, you won't be missed. Look at this! Look at this! Like, look, how can you get so much hatred on the internet? How can you get, like, this? You need to work for this. This doesn't just come by itself, alright? Like, you need to strive in order to piss off so many people. Well, maybe you should have stuck to gaming journal. Good riddance, good riddance. The lights are going out at Kotaku UK faster than getting clobbered with a golf club being wielded by a muscle-bound tyranny. Ah, I see. Oh, God. This was, you know, like, I would say this was good news, but, like, at the end of the day, I realized just how little Kotaku matters. I mean, I don't get my news from the press anymore when it comes to video game. In fact, like, if I see the press liking a video game, I start being concerned. There was Crusader Kings coming out a couple of days ago, and it got only 9s and 10s, and I was like, why is it getting such bad reviews? Like, what did it do in order to get such bad reviews? No, like, I get my insight of video games from YouTubers. Because you know what? At least a YouTuber is being held to account by his community. At least if he says something stupid or clickbait, like its own subscribers are going to attack him. at least they have the comment section open without disabilities. I mean, at least there's that. So I definitely trust a YouTuber like Angry Joe more than I trust, you know, Kotaku. No one cares about, and not to mention, like, we live in the age, which by the way, this is what journalists were really upset about, and Kotaku especially was upset about, when Steam allowed refunds, right? Because what used to happen was that their pretentious journalist friends would make like these really dumbass games, which you could finish in even 15 minutes, some of them. They were like really pretentious, and they asked for a lot of money, and what ended up happening was like people would play them and then they would refund them. So imagine the lake of salt and the lake of tears because they were unable to con money out of a couple of people anymore. You know, like Gone Home, 10 out of 10 video game, you know. It's just, people would now buy Gone Home, they'll play for 5-10 minutes like, okay, this is some boring shit, and then get a refund. Yeah, so they really hated when Steam allowed for refunds. They really didn't like it. Yeah, you can see why gamers don't like these publications. So yeah, nowadays, why do I need a review about a video game? I'll just get it on Steam, I can play it for an hour or two, and if I don't like it, I get a refund. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys in the comment section.